This is one of those Gospels where you get to the end and you say, I'm reading from the good news. Whoa, tough readings. Tough reading. Once again, we heard from our friend Amos from last week. And he was even stronger this weekend than he was last weekend. Woe to the complacent of Zion. These are tough readings. These are tough readings. Let's put it in context. We've mentioned before that one of the characteristics of the Gospel of St. Luke is his theme of journey, that it's fairly soon in the beginning of the Gospel of Luke, he has Jesus turn his face to Jerusalem, and he begins to journey with his followers to Jerusalem, where what's going to happen? That's where he is going to suffer and die and rise again. And he tells his disciples that. He's very upfront about it. It's time to go to Jerusalem so I can die and rise again. They don't like it. They figure something will happen while they're on the trip to change this. But you can almost feel in Christ's teaching on the road, he keeps teaching them and showing them signs and giving them advice and telling them what it means to truly follow him. And he keeps trying to get through to them. And you can almost feel in Christ a sense of greater urgency the closer they get to Jerusalem. He doesn't have a lot of time left. And if they don't get it soon, they're never going to get it. And so in tonight's reading, what we hear is that very dramatic depiction of the afterlife. That sooner or later we are called to account for the decisions we make in our life. The rich man is not condemned because he's rich. He's condemned because he's complacent. He's condemned because he can't see what's right in front of him. A poor man who is beloved of God, who God once cared for. It's that gets him in trouble. That complacency, living his life of leisure. That's not bad. What's bad is living it when you have someone right there in front of you suffering and in need of help. There's an interesting point here. Who's the named person in the story? The poor man, Lazarus. Interesting name, Lazarus. It means God helps. God helps. Who is not named? The rich man. Now, back in the Middle Ages when I was a kid, the old translation of this passage used to be headed up, Dives and Lazarus. We all said, well, where's Dives come from? He never gets called Dives. Well, Dives in Latin means rich man. It sounded like a name to us, but it was not. It's the rich man and the man God helps. God helps. What's interesting here, I think, is, and many scholars have pointed this out, that the rich man is all of us. We are all guilty of this one way or the other. Of ignoring, of looking over, of being uncomfortable by those who are in need, even those who are right next to us. Every day when I drive into Monterey, I pass a street corner. And there's always at least one person on that particular street corner who is begging. And I confess that most mornings I drive right on by. Ever notice when you do something like that you don't make eye contact with the person? Now you know your mamas all taught you like my mama taught me. Look me in the eye when you got something to say or do. But we know we should be doing something, and we feel guilty, and we look away. We don't want to look at that person in the eye. And that's what the rich man does in the gospel. He doesn't confront the needs that are right in front of him. So my friends, that's the challenge, I think, for us this week. As we come around the table of the Lord and share in this celebration of the Eucharist, as we celebrate this baptism, how do we respond to the needs that we have in our own families, in our schools, in our workplace, right around us? I just asked this family if they were ready to be models of Christian living for Cruz. They said they were. We all need to be models for Cruz on how to live and to respond to those around us. I think the challenge for all of us, and let's focus on it this week, is who is the Lazarus in my life?